But first, our top story tonight, the Panthers parting ways with coach Ron Rivera after nearly 9 seasons in Charlotte.
Tonight we're hearing from team owner David Tepper on the decision.
I anguished over it, but I ultimately decided that I was definitely, going to make these changes, and I, had to have the conversation.
Tepper speaking to media tonight, saying it wasn't an easy choice, but changes needed to be made. Taking a look at the numbers, this decision coming after the loss to the Redskins on Sunday put the team at 5-7 for the season. They've lost the last 4 games straight.
And one of the most important numbers to note, Rivera has one winning season since 2016. Those statistics certainly behind the shakeup. Our sports director, Nick Carboni, has been following the announcement since it dropped this afternoon. He joins us live from Bank of America Stadium with more. Nick?
Well, Sarah, I think David Tepper, from what he told us today while the cameras were rolling, had been thinking about this for a few weeks. And you mentioned that loss to the lowly Redskins here at home last Sunday. That did not help, especially when you consider the stadium was about a quarter empty and there were a whole lot of Washington red-colored shirts in there too. But still, this was far from an easy decision when you consider the human element.
Tough because it was an emotional conversation. I consider Ron Rivera a friend. Ron Rivera is one of the finest human beings I know.
But Tepper separated the man from the coach, and he felt it was time to move on from the coach after 2 straight subpar seasons. So why now? Well, Tepper knew he wanted a new coach and didn't want to look for one with Rivera still in place.
I was not going to go out there and start looking and do things behind Ron Rivera's back.
Still, players we talked to were surprised and feel they let Rivera down. Cam Newton, Greg Olsen, and Christian McCaffrey all posting their thanks to him on social media. Despite the last few seasons, Rivera was still the winningest coach in franchise history and went to a Super Bowl. So Tepper understands the importance of making his first coaching hire a home run.
You bet your ass it's important, okay? I don't want to be having a revolving door of coaches here.
As for who he might go get, Tepper says he wants a mix of old-school toughness and modern innovation.
You see a lot of coaches across the National Football League in their late 30s, early 40s. I think it's going to be maybe an offensive-minded coach and not a defensive-minded coach.
And you can tell whoever Tepper hires, he's going to want one thing: winning.
I don't want to ever have this team, this city, these states that we represent be at a competitive disadvantage to anybody in this country. Full stop.
Well, Tepper obviously has a lot of respect for Rivera, so much so that he will let him address the team for one final time tomorrow morning. After that, Rivera will address the media at about 8:15. In the meantime, secondary coach Perry Fuel has been elevated to interim coach over the last 4 games. There's other changes we'll talk about in sports as well. And yeah, who's going to be the next guy, right? Well, Las Vegas has already put out its betting favorites. I don't like most of them, but we'll give you the list coming up in sports. For now, live at Bank of America Stadium, Nick Carboni for NBC Charlotte.